Well, and Happy New Year to all of you. Although the New Year's Day is actually tomorrow, but Happy New Year anyway. Maybe here in a little while you're going to be watching the ball drop there in New York City or the big bash in Nashville. But I hope that you've had a good 2023, and I hope that you're going to have a good 2024 as we think about what the new year holds. And that's what I would like to do uh, this evening for a few moments. First, I would just like to talk. And as we think forward into the new year, and then just make some brief application, and we'll be finished with that. But maybe you've already thought about what you're going to be doing or trying to do uh, next year. It's a new year, it's a new 365 days, or is that a leap year? 366 days. Um, that that you've been given for another year. So think about that for just a moment. How much time is available for us, for you, to do whatever it is that you think that you want to do, or whatever your ambition is that uh, that you would like to accomplish. Okay, there's, we'll say, 365 days in the year. Now let's break down a day, and let's say that two-thirds of the day is used either in sleeping or working. Now that doesn't mean that you can't do anything about your goal and your ambition or whatever while you're at work. Maybe you can. Maybe you're allowed that kind of free time. But fundamentally, we spend two-thirds of our weekday, okay, asleep and or at work, or maybe you're in school, and so you're in school, and so you had to do that time to eat, whether it's breakfast and supper, or sometimes just supper because you skip breakfast, and all the other things that could be involved in it. And then that takes us to the weekend, which typically we want to recover from whatever it was we were doing during the week. So what I'm getting at is your time that's available to you may not be as much as 365 days sounds. And so we need to we need to think about that, and we need to think about the time that we're going to dedicate to whatever it is that we're going to do. And sometimes that may mean sacrificing one thing in order to do this. The next question I might ask is, so how long will you delay in starting? When are you going to start? Well, not tomorrow, right? January 1st, that's a holiday. We'll be together with family and friends. That'll be a great thing, celebrating and enjoying the start to a new year. So how long will you delay? Uh, if we don't start to plan, then we're gonna plan to fail, as the old saying goes. And so, how long will you delay before you start? Is there ever a better time to start than right now? Now, the third thing that we might look at here is, what will it take to start? What will it take to start? Will it take not much more than your computer, or will there be other materials that are going to be involved in this? Uh, if you're going to take, let's say, violin lessons, you got to have a violin and you got to have lessons. So, what is it going to take to start? And could you be assessing that and accumulating that right now? Another question we might think to ask ourselves is, will you need some help? Is this something you can do by yourself, or is this something that you need to do along the side of somebody? If we can go back to the violin lessons, well, you're probably going to need a violin teacher, whether it's online, whether it's virtual, or whether it's in person. You're going to need someone to teach you. Maybe you're going to need someone to sit by you as you're playing. No matter what it is, are you going to need some help, or are we going to think we're big enough and strong enough and bold enough that we can handle this all by ourselves? And then another question, as we think about what we may be trying to accomplish in 2024 is what will stop you. What will it take to stop you dead in your tracks from first starting, or second, as you move along, stopping, as you're making some progress and stuff? What will it take to stop you? You know, some people make up their minds and say there's nothing that's going to stop me from, and whatever the from is, that's just the way they are. And in most cases, I guess maybe they accomplish it, and maybe in some cases they somehow have to eat their words because something does stop them. And so I think that is an important consideration. The the next question, I guess, for consideration is, and maybe as you can see, I'm trying to do this and do it by myself here. Is, will God be in the middle of it? Will God be in the middle of whatever this is? So now let's go back through all these questions briefly and think about the answer to those questions. As we think about what we'd like to accomplish for God, you know, as the preacher for the Parkview Church of Christ, I'm interested in our church growing and going, which was our theme for 2022, of growing in every way, and would like to facilitate that. What will be your accomplishment for the Lord in 2024 beyond maybe just going to church or maybe even giving? Yeah, all that's good, and keep that going. But what are you going to accomplish for the Lord? And it doesn't have to particularly be anything that we might call huge. Well, I'm gonna take the gospel to some foreign country. It could be something that in our minds might be smaller than that, but in God's minds would be something great, because we need to have, as some preacher said this morning, the kingdom perspective of what we're going to do. So, how much time is available for you to get this going? How much time? You know, I guess assessment is an important thing as we launch any kind of project. And Jesus will even say that. He said, you need to count a cost here. And it's like someone who begins to build and doesn't count the cost. And then the structure is partially built and it stops because funds dried up. He didn't know how much it was going to cost to accomplish what he was going to accomplish. And so that in our funds, you might say in this illustration, is our time. How much time are you willing to give to this this thought, this project that you're going to accomplish for God? And will you have to, and are you willing to sacrifice something else to get it done? You know, some people say, well, I'm gonna take a meal to families who've lost loved ones, or to families whose uh, whose family member has been in the hospital, is now home. And I'm not gonna wait for the church to get all that together. I mean, the church will do that. I'm gonna do that myself. Of course, sharing the gospel with somebody. And and I've challenged all of us before to have our eyes on that one person that you would like to share the gospel with, and uh, see them and help them give their life to Jesus Christ and become a member of our church family. So, how much time is available for you to do that? Now, you can't say, well, I just don't have time for that. No, that's not the question. We have to make time available for that. So yes, we have 365 days next year, and that's what's available for you to pursue something for God, totally and specifically, just unequivocally for God. And then again, we have to now ask ourselves the next question: how long will you delay? How long will you delay in getting started? When will preparations start? The writer of Hebrews will say, today is the day of salvation. It's time to start now. It's time to start now because now is what we have. We anticipate the 365 days in a year when in reality it could end up being three. It could end up being one day. Or maybe some of us will not even make it till tomorrow. So how long will you delay in beginning to make this happen for the Lord? And it is for the Lord. And that should spur us on um, to get about it quickly so that we can get it done for him. So how long will you delay? And the next question then is, what will it take for you to start? What will it take to start? Do we know? Do we know? Have you thought about it enough that says, yes, here's what I need to start? And so, anticipating no delay and assessing what you need to start, then don't delay at that, but get it started. We know our we know our passage from Peter, right? We've been given all things that pertain to life and to godliness. So there's nothing left out that God hasn't given us in order that we can use that to do for God whatever this service is. As a matter of fact, doesn't that kind of make spiritual sense? That God has given us everything for life and godliness, and in turn, He expects us to use that to serve Him. And so, what will it take to start? Some things don't take months, mostly just a willingness and followed by a determination to do it. So, what will it take to start for you and something for God in 2024? Then we go on. What will it take to start? And are you going to need some help? Having trouble finding that caption there. But are you going to need some help? Or you want to take someone by the hand that will help you do this? Or let's flip it over. Can you join someone who is trying to accomplish such a thing for God and encourage them? In our Parkview Church family, there are many encouragers. At least I experience a lot of encouragement, very little discouragement. And that's so very important. So if someone's going to come alongside you and help you in whatever it is you're going to undertake this year, let it be someone who is noted for giving encouragement. The apostles had this one individual who apparently was such an encouragement that they made his name encouragement, Barnabas, son of encouragement. Wouldn't that be great to be called that? Wouldn't it be great to be known that when someone looked at you and you said, hey, that person over there, she or he, is nothing but encouragement? Because that's what the world needs more of, especially today. So find yourself an encourager or be that encourager for someone who's going to try to accomplish something specifically for God this year. We don't need someone who's going to go to a person and say, well, you'll never be able to do that. Or you can't do that. Rather, we need someone who says, yes, oh, that's exciting. I see you. I see you doing that. And what can I do to help? So you're either on one end or the other. And maybe in one situation, you're the one trying to accomplish and need the encouragement. And on the other hand, maybe in addition to that, you're being an encouragement for someone who's trying to get something done for God. And then, of course, is God going to be in the middle of it? You know, we can say so many things that sound so spiritual and so good, and it really wasn't purposed, if you please, by God. And so James gives us the example of, say, don't even say that I'm going to go into town and buy and get this and get that, because you don't know what's going to happen. But make it God's will. Say, if God wills, we will do this or that. And that's even better, much better than saying if the creek don't rise. So make sure God is in the middle of it. Pray about it. Make sure God purposes this that you're going to do. Not that it's not good in and of itself, but just make sure it falls within the purposes of God in the area of your talents and abilities. Sometimes we push that maybe a little too far, where somebody will say, well, that's not my talent, and another person, that's not my talent. And so nothing gets done because somebody believes it's not their talent. When, if we're indeed purposed by God to accomplish something, He will equip us to do it, even if that's outside our talents. So, what about 2024? What about it? Pray about it. Don't be hasty in your decision. Visualize it. See yourself doing it and see God right in the middle of it. See God right in the middle of it, and people encouraging you and helping you along to accomplish for God what you want to accomplish. Yes, as the preacher for the Parkview Church of Christ in Sherman, Texas, I would like to see you somehow it be connected with the service we give to God all year long. It could be teaching a Bible class. We need more teachers. It would be great to have enough teachers in our children's program to be able to rotate teachers, give somebody a break. Or maybe you could join, like, let's say, David Ellis, who's the deacon over facilities, et cetera, and say, hey, let me jump in there. I can do this for you. You just turn me loose and let me do it. Oh, there's just so much to do, but you may want to accomplish a purpose that's connected to church, connected to Christianity, but maybe not directly connected to the church. And that would be great too, because God's going to get the praise and the honor in either way. So I guess I'll end this little devotional thought by wishing you a happy new year. Now you may be or may not be aware, I tried to do this live, and that just wasn't happening. It's been too long since I've done that. So I had to record it to and then upload it like I did last weekend. But I do want to wish you a very happy new year. And may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make His grace to shine upon you. May the Lord give you peace.
We give you glory, Lord. Glory, glory, Lord. You are the mighty God. You are the mighty God.